What is going on, everyone? It's C Philly here, and today we're going to be doing a game review, something a little bit different from what I usually do. But today we're going to be looking at the first game I've ever actually completed from start to finish, Far Cry 5. Let's get started. First, we're going to be looking at the gameplay of Far Cry 5. The game has such a better way to explore the world without feeling so lost within it. The main focus isn't just liberating the outposts and getting little pieces of the world each time, like Far Cry 3 and 4. That's what actually drove me away from the older Far Cries, just because it was really tedious and it was really boring in my opinion, but the stories for each of those were super good. That's what carried playing it. But Far Cry 5 made it so fun to actually just want to explore, whether it was just driving around, flying around as you listen to music on Spotify, Apple Music, and just shoot when you find it, like an outpost or a random like hostage event on the road or something like that. It just was so clean. Everything felt so clean. Speaking of the gun selection was huge and it felt so good when you would use each and every gun, rifle, shotgun, SMG, didn't really matter. I try to keep a solid rotation of a rifle, SMG, and a sniper to play more of a silent but deadly gameplay style because of the unpredictability of the AIs in Ubisoft games. It doesn't really matter how you play Far Cry 5 though. You can be silent like me or you can be chaotic. There isn't really a better or worse gameplay style, it's just whatever you like to do more. But chaos is always fun. There is a companion system within Far Cry 5, which is really nice. Having Boomer by your side to tag enemies when taking out outposts becomes so much easier to manage knowing how many people you're up against. Or having your bear friend Cheeseburger tank the out of the bullets for you as you fight is a huge help, especially when you're in high enemy territory like outposts. Or you can have Peaches, who is silent but deadly, taking out enemies while you're doing your own thing. I'm gonna have to be honest with you guys. I've actually never really used the people gun for hires when playing, so I actually can't really give you a decent opinion on them because I never really thought they were useful as much as the animals. So I'm gonna leave that up to you guys when you play Far Cry 5, hopefully after this video. The last thing we're going to cover in the gameplay section is the resistance meter. Now, this is a place of controversy for some people because it breaks the freedom that you have within the open world. You could be flying a plane, driving a car, and suddenly you're put into a cutscene. This, for some people, kills the pacing completely because they're more into the side stuff, and now they're forced into an unskippable story mission that they can't get out of. I actually personally really like the random breaks like that when you get to do the story missions because I don't like to get lost doing the side stuff because it gets repetitive to me and I'll lose interest in the story fast. I can see both sides of the argument though, with the meter and how it randomly getting kidnapped and put into an escape mission does feel a bit off and can get old very quick. This story is packed rich with good American cult vibes. The eeriness of the tone in parts is perfectly executed, especially in the opening scene where you first land into the cult site, where you walk into the church as a rookie on the crew and the loyal followers observing you intensively. You end up arresting Joseph Seed and take him into the helicopter that you came with, and you leave, but everything goes wrong. You crash land, and now you're stuck in Hope County. Your job now is to get all your crew and push them to stop the cult once and for all. The main theme in Far Cry 5 is power. Joseph Seed starts this cult from the ground up, and as it grows, so does his want for power and control. It starts as just this religion and that he has this vision, but by the time the game starts and you land in Hope County, he's brainwashed and manipulated the members so much they follow him no matter what, even if it means violence. The story and the theme is still relevant today because it's happened multiple times in history, like Waco, the FLDS, and the Montana Freeman, just to name a few. They split the story up into three different parts with three different regions, and you can do whatever region you want, but they sway very heavily to starting with John. Now, personally, I went John, Faith, then Jacob, but let me know what you guys did in the comments if you've played Far Cry 5 already. This Far Cry game, in my opinion, has the best villain cast. You get to see them so much, and you actually feel the presence and how scared you can be from them. Lots of people are going to say, well, what about Voss? What about Voss? Well, you didn't really actually get to see Voss in Far Cry 3. You didn't feel the presence and the lingering, like, feeling like he's on your shoulder, but in this, you do. There's four different people that all have sick and twisted quirks about them that make them valuable story-wise. So let's start with Joseph Seed. This is the corrupt leader that has sworn that he's been told by a higher power about the end of the world and he knows how to save his people and whoever is willing to follow him. His calm demeanor is so unsettling just because it shows how far he's gone in his own delusions and how much he believes what he's doing is the right thing and there's nothing wrong with it. Now let's look at Jacob Seed. Jacob is this grizzled survivalist that will do whatever it takes to survive, even if it means killing people. The way that Jacob carries himself is a very military based person, and he lives by the saying that if you aren't strong and strong willed, you don't deserve to live. So the people that he kidnaps and takes in as his own, he drills this into him. And when you get to the cutscenes where you have to fight him and stuff, you can see that with the people that he's taking over. Now we're going to look at the second brother, John Seed. John is the pastor of all the seeds. He uses this to spread the word of what Joseph is trying to get across. Forced confessions, his heavy focus on the seven deadly sins, and his motto, yes, it's all to make you conform to what he wants and what Joseph wants. Last but certainly not least, we have the sister, Faith. Faith is a master manipulator. With her drug they call it the Bliss. It's a small white flower that is spread across her region. It slowly drives you crazy with making you hallucinate crazy scenarios over and over and over again, and drives you slowly more and more mad as you progress throughout the region. Moving from all the seeds and the villains, we come to who you actually land with. You come with Marshal Cameron Burke, Sheriff Whitehorse, Deputy Hudson, Deputy Pratt, and you, the junior deputy. This game couldn't have been set in a more beautiful place than rural Montana of the United States, where they're able to capture the patriotic side of America while still having the eerie undertone the whole time. Far Cry 5 took a huge swing on being from somewhere so different like Montana because 4 and 3 were set in very different places. 4 was in the Himalayas, snowy mountains, all that kind of stuff, and then 3 was set in this tropical island. After you beat the tutorial part of the start, where you're able to get your feet under you on like how the game works and all that stuff, you're able to go into Hope County and start wherever you like. The world allows you to do so much. You're allowed to go fishing and hunting, and the hunting and fishing feels so unbelievably realistic. I would even have to catch myself sometimes and snap back into it almost to actually play the story because I would be fishing or hunting so much. And on top of that, you're able to see so much beautiful scenery with the mountains, the trees, the greenery. Everything about it is just so nice. With the world out of the way, we're going to look at the value of this game. $80, and is it worth it? The game is usually $80, which to me is worth it, but it goes on sale quite a bit, so you can get it for a lower price. You're getting so much with this game, story-wise, open world-wise, gameplay-wise. There's so much to like about this game that other Far Cry's haven't done. You can rack up so many hours on just doing the side stuff and hunting and fishing alone that it's worth it. The fact that you can also play online with friends in this is also amazing. I remember playing this so much with a bunch of my buddies and even family members, just doing anything, hunting, fishing, story missions. You get so much value in the game, replay value, everything. So it makes the price point so unbelievably worth it with what you're getting. That also doesn't include the fact that there is an online mode where people make their own custom outposts and maps and stuff so that you can play with your friends as well to defeat. So overall, yes, this is 100% worth it if you can get it. Full price on sale, anything, just get it. The last thing we're going to talk about in this video is the pros and cons of Far Cry 5. We're going to start with the biggest con of the whole game. Why isn't the main character talking at all at any point in the game? This is the biggest criticism in the whole game, and for good reason, because it completely disconnects you as a player from who you are in the game. You don't feel like you are this rookie because you're not talking, you don't resonate, you don't really get anything from this. Another con that has been a real topic of controversy is the ending. It is a cliffhanger. There's this huge build up to this moment, and then you get to the end and you're left there really confused. I was confused, sad, like, why is this how it ends? I just spent this much time getting to where I need to be, and this is how it ends. Especially because the game after fell so flat on its face. It was not anywhere near as good as Far Cry 5. The last con is a broken record. This is in every Ubisoft game, it seems like, but the AI is just so bad. It's so confusing. It's so weird. You can't really predict it, and this is just shouldn't be a recurring issue, but it is. We're gonna move from the cons now to the pros, and the first pro that I have is the villains. There will never be another Voss, but this group of villains are so well done, in my opinion, that it makes you feel like you're under threat at all times. The second pro I have is the gameplay loop. The combat is amazing. The vehicles are amazing. Gunplay and gun selection is one of the best in the Far Cry series. So you're getting so much with this game that it's so nice. The last pro that I have is they moved away from the tower exploration like in Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4. I honestly really disliked this way of exploration. That's why I didn't really get into 3 or 4. Still good games, but Far Cry 5 just has more natural progression and exploration for the player that it feels so much better when you're playing it. It's so noticeable. So we've made it to the end of the video now. Thank you so much for watching. This is one of my longer videos that I've made. Make sure to go to the description and look at all the socials, follow them all, and while you're down there, hit subscribe and the like button. This has been C Philly, and I hope you guys have a good day.